What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. There's been a few times on this channel when I've gone through and talked about what I believe are the top 5 weapons in Black Ops 3, and I think you guys have a pretty good idea yourselves what those are. However, I've never really talked about what I think the top 5 attachments are, and the reason why that's important is because you can use these attachments on every single weapon you're using. And I really do believe that the 5 attachments I'm going to talk about today could really improve your kill-death ratio by a really large amount, simply by using these attachments. Now, as always, when I do a top 5 list like this, it does somewhat come down to personal preference, because of course certain people prefer certain attachments. Now, I'm going to try to break it down and give you my exact reasoning why I believe these are the top 5, but if you disagree with me, feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section below letting me know what your top 5 attachments are, and I'll of course, as always, be reading all of the attachments. And of course, if you do enjoy the video, it would be very greatly appreciated if you could hit that like button. But without further ado, let's get down to talking about the top 5 attachments. So coming in at number 5, this one's I think will be a little bit controversial. This one is Quickdraw. So Quickdraw is a great attachment. Basically what it allows you to do is aim down sights faster. Now there's 2 parts to aiming down sights. There's the sprint out time and there's the aim down sights time. The sprint out time is the amount of time it takes you to shoot after sprinting. The aim down sights time is the amount of time it takes for you to aim down sights after sprinting. Basically, fast hands improves your sprint out time and quick draw improves your aim down sights time. Now, both of which are very important. It's going to be able to make you get bullets on target faster and therefore win more gunfights. So if that's the case, if this attachment is going to make you win more and more gunfights, why is it only at number 5? And it's basically because of this. Quickdraw is basically useless without fast hands, because what is the point of aiming down sights faster if you're not going to be able to shoot at the same time? Right? So in order to get the most out of your quick draw attachment, you need to be using fast hands, because fast hands is going to allow you to shoot at almost exactly the same time that you're going to aim down sights. Luckily enough, in Black Ops 3, for at least most of the weapons in the game, if you're using both the attachment and the perk, it's going to allow you to aim down sights and shoot at almost the exact same time. And that's why, in tandem, this perk and attachment work so damn well together. Of course, certain weapons are going to be outliers, but for the most part, that's the way this works. Once again, at number 4, I'm not 100% sure what you guys will say about this one, simply because I don't think you necessarily need to use it on every weapon whatsoever, and that's the grip. So the grip is an attachment that basically just reduces recoil. It reduces it by 7.5%. Now, that's not necessarily a ton, but on weapons that have a lot of recoil, that's going to work better than on weapons that have less recoil. So for example, a weapon like the ICR, you 100% do not need a grip on the ICR. However, if you look at a completely different weapon like the VMP, one with a really fast fire rate and much more recoil, it's pretty important to actually reduce that recoil, and the grip is probably the best possible way to do it. Now, I was really reluctant to put this attachment on the list, and the reason for that is you don't always have to use the grip. And more specifically, certain weapons like the VMP, certain players don't use the grip on. They're just able to control the recoil. Personally, I'm not. I like using the grip on there, but it's not necessary. Whereas the rest of the attachments we're going to talk about on this list, I truly believe you pretty much have to use on certain weapons, if not all the weapons, to really make you the best of the best. But of course, if you disagree with me and think something else should be on the list instead of grip, let me know down in the comments. Coming in at number 3 is one that I don't see enough people use, and that is the stock. So basically what the stock does is allows you to move faster while aiming down sights. And I don't think people realize how important of a skill that really is. Basically, if you get into a gunfight with someone who is standing still, it is so much easier to kill them. Therefore, if there is a way to speed up your movement in a gunfight, it's going to make the other person more difficult to actually hit you, which makes it more likely that you are going to survive. So of course, that's incredibly important. So if you're looking for some exact numbers, let's say you were using the KN-44. Normally, while aiming down sights, you move at about 40% your normal movement speed. Whereas if you're using the stock, you move at 68% of your normal moving speed, which is 28% faster, which is absolutely insane. But it is most important on SMGs by a long shot, because on a lot of the SMGs, you move at 104% speed while aiming down sights. That's right, you actually move faster aiming down sights than not aiming down sights. I mean, you don't move as fast as sprinting by any means, but you move faster than if you were just normally walking around. And that's an absolute huge skill to have on top of your enemies. If you can move faster than normally while aiming down sights, you're obviously going to win many, many more gunfights. So I strongly suggest on every single SMG class that you have, you put a stock on there. It is really, really important. Now, I'm sure a lot of you who watched my channel a bunch knew this was coming, but coming in at number 2, we've got the BOA 3. Now, before you get mad and dislike the video and quit the video, let me explain why. Now, a normal sight, for example, the reflex sight, limits your field of view, makes you scope in a little bit, and replaces your iron sights so they're a little bit better. The BOA does the same thing. It limits your field of view just a little bit more than the reflex sight, but it also reduces recoil. It actually increases your center speed by 10%, which basically gives you 10% less recoil. That's actually more efficient than the grip attachment is. As I mentioned, the grip attachment reduces your recoil by about 7.5%, whereas this is by about 10%. But it gets even better. This actually stacks with the grip. So you can reduce your recoil by about 17.5% if you're using both the grip attachment and the BOA 3. And for weapons like the VMP, that is extremely, extremely useful. Or, for example, I use the FFAR a lot, and I don't necessarily love the iron sights, and I feel like that weapon needs a little bit less recoil, so I don't actually use a grip on that weapon, I just use the BOA, and that frees up one slot in my creator class, and I think that is what is incredibly important. You don't necessarily have to use that grip attachment, and instead you can use a sight, which means you don't have to use a wildcard slot, which means more creator class room and a much better class, therefore increasing your kill-death ratio. Now, I think number 1 is pretty obvious. Coming in at number 1, we have high caliber. Basically, what high caliber is if you get a headshot, it's going to reduce your bullets to kill by 1. Some cases, 2. It's pretty damn insane. But basically what this does is on most weapons, it increases your damage of your weapon by 1.5 or by 50%. But on some weapons, for example, like the Shiva or MX Grand, it increases it by 1.8 or 80%, dealing a crapload more damage. Now, the basic way to think about this attachment is if you have a 3-bullet kill weapon with high caliber on it, and one of your bullets happens to get a headshot, it is now a 2-bullet kill. The problem comes in with certain weapons like the M16. With the M16, your normal time to kill, assuming you hit your first 3 bullets, is 0.12 seconds, which is a really, really amazing time to kill alone. But if you put on high caliber, simply get 1 headshot, all of a sudden that time to kill is 0.06 seconds, which is faster than really any human can actually react, which is just retarded. So in a sense, what high caliber does is if you get a headshot, be it on purpose or by accident, you will win that gunfight. The problem I have with this attachment is the damage multiplier that it adds, whether it be 50% or 80%, is too high. I think they should drop it down to every single weapon to about 40% to make it a little bit more even, but then there would be no point in using the attachment, so it's kind of pick your poison. Do you want the really strong attachment, or do you want no one to have it? But guys, that is my list of the top 5 attachments in Black Ops 3. Now I'm really curious what you guys have to say. Let me know down in the comment section below, what are your top 5 attachments in Black Ops 3? Which ones do you normally use? What weapons do you normally use them on? Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed the video and found it useful, and maybe I helped improve your kill-death ratio, it would be fantastic if you could hit that like button. Also, if you like what you saw here and you want to see more Call of Duty videos, I have a ton of them on my channel, and you may want to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all my videos. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, guys, peace out.